Diddy trial, day 4. I've got all the details for you. Cassie is back on the stand and she is here for cross examination today. That's where his defense attorneys get to question her testimony. Diddy's attorneys ask Cassie, "Did you know the real Sean?" She says yes. The attorney says, "The Sean other people didn't see?" "Correct," she says. The defense brings up a text message that says, "I love you so much, it makes me cry." According to the message, Sean sent it on August 12th to Cassie, known as Baby Girl, in his Blackberry. They then bring up an email where Sean says, "Love my baby. I love you so much. It consumes my life. How did this happen?" She replied with, "I wonder the same thing. Who was I before we decided to be together?" Attorneys ask her, "Why did you want to spend so much time with Sean?" She says, "Because I fell in love with him. He was charismatic, big personality, larger than life. The beginning of the relationship was really fast paced, scary, but the more time I spent with him, his real personality came out." She testified that at the beginning of the relationship, she wanted to please him, and that's why she took part in the freak offs. "Yes, at the time, I wanted to make him happy." The lawyers then bring up a text where she says, "I'm always ready to freak off, LOL." They also brought up how she had mentioned in emails that she wanted to have a child with him. There was one point where his attorneys had shown some texts and emails that were extremely graphic messages from Cassie, and an objection was called, and the judge called a quick recess. They then show text messages where Sean says, "I'm so corny," with an H, and she responds with, "OMG, I was about to text you the same thing." And then Sean says, "I can't wait," in regards to one of the freak offs, and she says, "I can't wait either." They then brought up an email where Cassie says, "In order for me to be more open with the things we do in bed, I need to feel safe, like home, like this is my husband and this is the only man that will ever have this aggressive, sexual side of me." When we used to do freak offs, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right, like literally made sense for the next step in our Smex life together. The defense asked her if freak offs were an important part of the relationship with Sean, and she says it was an integral part. The defense asked her to confirm that she was becoming a wealthy celebrity, thriving music and modeling career before she began dating Sean. She acknowledged that she was doing well during that time. His attorney asked her, "You were an up and coming star," and she said, "I guess you could say that." She testified that at the time she first met Sean, she was dating rapper and producer Ryan Leslie, that she had signed with Bad Boy Records in 2006 and was platonic with Sean at the time that she was dating Leslie. But Cassie was about 3 years into her relationship with Leslie when she met Sean in Miami, leading to the first time that they had intercourse. She confirmed that a flyer was made to advertise a club appearance that she was going to do to give an impression of a professional reason to travel to Miami as to not make Leslie upset. They then went over how Sean needed to be constantly updated about Cassie's whereabouts, concerned she was stepping out on the relationship. When asked what would trigger spikes in phone calls from Sean, Cassie said it could be for a number of reasons. It could be anything from not telling him where I was, angry about me, could be anything. Maybe he assumed I was cheating. I don't know. She testified that Sean had a problem with ecstasy and cocaine. When asked if she thought he was an addict, she said, "I would say he was an addict." They then asked her if he became angry or volatile during withdrawals, and she said, "I'm not a doctor, but coming off certain pills, I guess he would be pretty irritated." At this point, they break for lunch, but the judge gets angry with the defense because he wanted Cassie to not have to be on the stand for a long time, and he said the pace they're going is too slow. The defense is saying they want her on the stand all day today and tomorrow, and the judge is like, "That's the opposite of what I was told." So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but when they come back after lunch, I will do that recap later this afternoon.